Good morning. This is Eli Hansen, student here at the South City Institute, and along with me is Brother Ferguson. And today we'll be talking about the service boot camp offered here at the Institute. So, tell me more about this service boot camp. What is it like? How does it work?
Yeah, well, the idea is, I really like that the opportunity to get kind of right down in the weeds and give information that can be used by the students. You know, throughout your life, you're going to have times where you're going to be able to do things for people, and in this service boot camp, it's the idea of want to give you a backpack full of ideas with some games, some things you can do that you can touch lives with. Whether like Eli, if you go on a second mission, are there some things that you would, you'd make sure you take with you if you went back to your mission to serve for another 2 years, right? So that's the kind of things I was talking about, the idea of, whether you're going on a second mission, whether you haven't gone on one yet, there's some things that you can do, or, just do it for, now your girlfriend's name's Abby, right?
Maggie.
Maggie, see, so I'm glad I said that. Maggie, I'm sorry, I forgot. But Eli knows how bad I am with the names. But, there's going to be some times when you just want to do something nice for Maggie, and, or whoever your wife's going to be, or for your mom or sister, or, guys are typically, we do a lot of stuff, make mistakes. And so these boot camp ideas are also, you can just work with people to say you're sorry, or just to reach out and touch their lives as ministering or whatever.
Yeah, I noticed there's a lot of just ideas surrounding, this boot camp. You have ADCDESG.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So these are all titles that, for most of them, I remember even what they mean. I'm a professional clown, and so I've learned things in clown school and clown college. I graduated from there and actually helped teach clown college. So anyway, ADCDESG is the ventriloquist way to say the alphabet. So I can say the alphabet, but it sounds like I'm saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but those letters like B, that you have to use your lips with, you don't say B, you say D. And if you do it fast, then it sounds like you're doing the regular alphabet. So A, D, C, D, E, S, G is the first letters of the alphabet. So, or the letters of the alphabet, and then you can take those sounds and things, and that's how you create. If you have weird words, if you remember this, you can figure out how to say them without moving your lips. Or an easier thing is you come up with a different word to say the same thing. So it's just a matter of teaching. We're just going to learn the alphabet song to help you kind of understand those things. But, there'll be times when you're just, you're with some kids or something like that, and you say, I'm going to be, do you want to see a magic trick? I can do the whole alphabet without moving my lips. And you get through it, and they just go nuts because they're just so surprised. And with that, you can drop into a gospel thought and say, a lot of times we don't have our radio tuned in very well when we're in our prayers, and we hear things that maybe we weren't quite tuned in correctly. So that's why we need to make sure of what we do. The Heavenly Father will give us confirmation, but also just listening to each other. sometimes we need to listen more and to be able to share our testimony of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's neat. And then there's when's a cran more than a cran?
Yeah,
That caught my attention.
There's a lot of magic tricks that you can do with crayons. You can make them disappear. You can make them turn into pencils. You can make them look like you're shoving them in your ear or up your nose, and then have it come out your mouth, and all these different things. But you can guess the color that they chose, and all these different things. That there's just a whole bunch of funny little magic tricks that you can do with crayons.
Okay.
So, and again, the whole idea is I'm doing things that because you don't walk away with service boot camp. You just don't walk away saying, "Ta-da! I did a trick. I really fooled you." What it is, I'm teaching you that sometimes we don't see everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And isn't it neat that we have have Heavenly Father that's all knowing, that He understands and can see all that's going on at the same time. So
That's awesome. And then there's, indoor, outdoor group games. I see a Grateful Gardening idea. What's that one?
The lady who owns Mill Creek Gardens is in our ward, and I was writing up this list, and I saw her in church. And I just said, explained kind of what we were doing, and I says, "Is there anything where gardening would fit in?" And she just loves talking about flowers and everything like that. And she says every single flower has a story behind it, and you can use those stories to share gospel principles. And so it's some of those things. The little forget-me-nots. Elder Uchtdorf had this thing about forget-me-nots, the little flowers, and that next summer after he gave that talk, they planted forget-me-nots all over the church campus in a lot of those flower beds, and there were just so many different ones, and it was just kind of a real powerful thing, reminding us about this principle that Elder Uchtdorf talked about. So, there's some other ones. This the Foursquare, with these games, I created a bunch of them that were their old games with new twists, and the idea is that we play broom hockey a lot of times in wards, but if you can also use, instead of brooms, you can use those swimming noodles to play with. It gives you a whole different kind of way to do it. Foursquare, instead of using the big. First of all, not very many people know the rules of Foursquare. My grandson will not. He'll always play and enjoy by the rules, but he'll go to school and he'll just use whatever rules are the playground rules. But playing Foursquare with a tennis ball or a racquetball or a pickleball, those kind of things, it adds a whole nother level and works well with young adults. Of course, when you get as old as I am, playing Foursquare at all could cause you could break a hip or whatever. But for others, that idea of helping them play games in a different way is there's a lot of fun things that you can do. So
awesome. These all great ideas. They sound fun. And when is this workshop off? It's a workshop, right?
It's a workshop, and there's the idea where I came up with this big list, and there's probably 60 or 70 different things on this list. The idea was that the class would come together. We scheduled it for right after our Thursday feast. But everybody's so busy that no one was really able to come and be part of it, which was the dream. So I'm just going through and making podcast versions explaining how to play the games, demonstrating where I need to demonstrate, and also get into that idea of how can we turn these things into gospel messages. And it's more for you to do things, but also, I would hope that as we do the podcast versions, that people also do their own podcasts, and we'll add these to the collection that we have for the Institute website. So,
okay. Sounds good. Well, hey, thank you for sharing this with me. Sounds fun.